This is Jermaine reporting for the Pound for Pound Boxing Show. I'm joined alongside Joshua Hernandez. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm very well. Thank you for taking the time to join me today. I know you just said you had training just not too long ago. How has camp been and how's training going?
Camp is great. I'm always training, so that's just my lifestyle. But here, Eddie and Matchroom, they have everything very organized. We each get an hour slot. We get a few slots throughout the day to train in one of the three areas they have designated. So that's pretty much it, man. I've been training 2 times a day, and tomorrow's the weigh-in.
Yeah. Have you had time to look around, obviously, Eddie's back garden and check out the ring and stuff like that?
Yeah, man. The venue is beautiful. The venue is beautiful. They've done a heck of a job. Dazn and Matchroom, they keep leveling up. They keep adding new ideas, and it's good for the sport.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Last 2 weeks now, it's obviously onto the third week. I want to talk to you. Obviously, your opponent is very known over here in the UK, undefeated Joe Cordina.
Yeah.
Have you watched much of his fights going into this fight?
They called us about 3 weeks ago. They contacted my dad about potentially fighting him in California on August 25th. So we checked him out then, and then just kept training and stuff. And then they called last week if we could fight this weekend in the UK. And we've always been training, so we're ready to go. As far as tapes, I watch a little here and there just to know what I'm dealing with when I get in there.
Yeah, obviously he's undefeated. He's 12-0, undefeated. Obviously, what makes you think what sort of skills have you got? Your skill set was going to be the first man to defeat this guy.
I think I'm the. Has he? I don't know if he's fought anybody from the States yet. I don't know. I'm not sure. But not that matters. I was just saying. As far as my abilities, I think he's fought his fair share of opponents, and he's won a couple of titles here and there. I've been in there with tough opponents too, and I know he's got a lot of experience, but so do I. So I think he just hasn't fought anyone with my level of not necessarily skill, but I have a lot of things combined as far as the speed, power, and my skill set, and just coming forward and being able to box. I'm a boxer brawler, and I don't think he's really faced that. A lot of these fighters, they sit still and let them tee off or pity pat punches, but that's not going to work against me.
So your style, you would probably say, is a come forward sort of fighter. A lot of intensity, throws a lot of punches, and it's going to make it a hard night's work for him. Is that what sort of your style is?
Yeah, I'm gonna adapt when I'm in there. I feel like when it comes to my style, I've in my past fights when I've had to bang it out against a boxer who boxes better than me, then I gotta bang it out. Against a brawler who's gonna come forward, I box. So I'm a boxer puncher. I can do both.
Yeah. Obviously, you've been in there with some really good fighters already in your career. I'm going to talk a bit about one in particular is Chris Colbert. Obviously, you come up short in that fight.
Yeah.
What do you think it went wrong that night for yourself?
I'm learning on the job, man. I had 55 amateur fights, but they were all local in Chicago, most of them. The only time I did go to nationals, I fought in. I've won tournaments here that qualified me for nationals. I was never, taken out to nationals or anything. We just couldn't afford it or just didn't do it at the time. But I turned. So as far as at that fight, it was lack of experience. I stepped up, and I thought I did very well, But I give Chris Colbert his credit. He's a very, very special fighter, and he's gonna do well in the sport. Obviously, he's doing it already. He's an interim champion, WBA at 130, and I wish him the best, and hopefully I can do my thing and get ranked at 130, and maybe him and I can run it back. You never know.
Yeah, 100%. If you keep winning, he keeps winning. There's always
Yep.
a possibility that fight might materialize again. Obviously, another fight you've been in the ring with is Giovanni Mioletti.
Yeah.
Obviously, that was a tough fight for you. Obviously, didn't go your way again. How much have you learned from that fight going into this fight?
That fight, I won that fight. You could ask anyone. You could ask Eddie Hearn himself. Eddie Hearn knows I won that fight. The judging was just off that night. So, in that fight, I outboxed a southpaw who was like 30 pounds heavier than me. And it just didn't go my way. I can't sit here and complain. That's the sport. There's politics in the sport, but I do this sport for me and to challenge myself and my abilities and to make me a better man for me. And that night, I fought a good fight. I should have got the victory, but it didn't happen. So it's all right.
You talked a bit about obviously judges scoring fights the wrong way and a bit
Yeah.
controversial. Obviously, a lot of fighters have come over here, come over to the UK from the States and from Mexico, and probably maybe won the fights, but the judges are not giving them the correct scorecards, and they've probably been sometimes people would say robbed. Are you a bit worried about going into this fight that you might have to take it away from the judges and maybe get a knockout?
I could sit here and stress out about judges, but listen, man, I've been through a lot in my short career, and it's just something that I've chosen not to worry about because it's not in my control. If politics want to play a part and they want to give him the if it goes to decision, they want to give him the decision. That's fine, whatever. If the fans will know it, I'll know it, and you just got to take stuff like that on the chin. It's unfortunate for the sport, but what could I do? I can't fight the judges. I got to worry about me, my fight, execute my game plan, and I'm not going to technically waste time on thinking about that.
There's another fight taking place on the card as well. Another
Yeah.
featherweight title, it's a super featherweight fight as well. Raymond Ford versus Reece Bellotti. Do you know much about these two fighters, and who do you see winning this fight?
Yeah, I thought Raymond Ford, isn't that 126? I thought they were at 26.
Oh, okay,
But
my bad.
maybe no, maybe not. Maybe I don't know. I thought he was a 26 pounder, but Raymond Ford he's a good fighter, man. He got a run for his money last time out against awkward guy that came off a draw. But today in the press conference, he explained that he had a baby on the way and that he had to take a week off of training. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes of fighters camps that fans don't necessarily know about. But fighters were just taught to take it on the chin and to keep moving. And he said he was off his game that night and he got a draw. But I think he's fighting Reece Bellotti, right? That's how you say his name? Yeah. I think he should come out. He should come out with a victory. He has a lot of amateur experience, a big amateur background. But not only that, he's very sharp. But don't count this other guy out. He's coming to fight, so it'd be cool to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be a great fight. Obviously, Reece Bellotti very well over here in the UK.
Yeah.
He's cut short in his last 2 fights, but he still possesses he's a big puncher and he still possesses knockout power. So anything's possible in that fight tomorrow night on Saturday night.
That's what I like about the UK. I've always admired your guys' boxing background here. You know about your fighters. It's one of the most popular sports here. And you guys know your research. You know what I'm saying? In America, it's more like mainstream and about media, about Instagram and about who got more followers. you come here and it's authentic, and that's what I really like about the UK. So kudos to you guys for that.
And thanks for you coming over here. Obviously, that's what we like. We like to have American fighters come over here and fight as well. We like to make boxing, like I said, keep it worldwide. So salute you coming
Yeah,
over here and keeping a tough fight like this as well.
yeah, I appreciate it, man. Look, um, I'm 25 years old. Um, I love boxing. I love to fight. I love to put on a show. I fought on the USIC card at Wintrust against Mioletti, and I was the fight of the night. And that's that. I fought at 2 in the morning, because it was the dead last fight, and we fought at 2 a.m. And I still put on a show, and there was like 2,000 people, 3,000 people that stood just to watch it, because me and Mioletti were from the same city, from Chicago. He's from Seattle, but he came here to train, and we put on a show, and I plan on doing the same thing here. You know, I obviously already proved I have guts. I'm coming here in this kid's backyard. He's already lining up to fight for a world title, and I'm ready to take on the challenge.
Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait. I want to talk obviously about a man who's your manager, Rick Ramos. I
Yeah.
want to talk a bit about your relationship, how you first started working together. So how did that materialize? Because he's such a great trainer. How did it come across that he became your manager?
Yeah, so I've known Rick since I was young, like I said, I've been around boxing since I was 4 years old. My first fight I was 7, but I really didn't. My dad was a pro fighter, and my father's my head coach. He's my trainer. So watching my father fight, Rick was always around. We trained at one of Rick's older gyms. So Rick has always been around, and I've been around the sport, but I didn't start taking it serious till junior year of high school. And even then, when I turned pro, Jessica Mccaskill turned pro on the same card. So we kind of just came up together,
Yeah.
And obviously Jess is now undisputed, which is amazing. It's awesome to train next to a fighter like that who's accomplished. She's at the top of the game in the women's boxing. But yeah, our relationship with Rick is a good one, man. He's a good person. Misunderstood by a lot of people, because he just believes in himself and believes in, the fighters he works with. So that's fine by me.
Do you think he's misunderstood in the States or over here in the UK? Because I like the fact that he's confident and he has faith in his fighters. Because if he doesn't, then what's the point?
Yeah, I'm speaking like Chicago. There's little, yeah. But I think he's well respected over here as well.
Yeah.
He came, he talked a big game to get the Katie Taylor fight, and they did it. Just did her part. Put on a entertaining fight, and again, kudos to that fight. That fight was here, right, in the UK. So I think that was even a benefit for Jessica too, because she went out there, and it was just a perfect mixture of things, where it's like you got the UK fight fans who are going to appreciate the effort and are going to applaud a close fight. And, instead of like we're in the States, sometimes challenging fights like that are just forgotten about. It's like, it's whatever. Like, perfect example is like everyone looks at my record, they see a loss against Giovanni Mioletti, and if they weren't there, they didn't know I got robbed. But if that fight was here in the UK, it might be different. You guys, word would get around here and be like, hey, I think Josh won that fight.
Obviously, you mentioned Jessica Mccaskill, undisputed champion, fantastic, actually, fantastic champion, professional. I want to ask you, what's it like training with her leading up to fights, and not just her, lots of Summer Lynn and Tiara
Yeah.
Brown as well.
So just being in the gym is very organized. Everyone is giving full effort, and it's a crazy dynamic because they're 2 women on top of their game, 3 women on top of their game, you know, and you have younger women who are still amateurs, still crushing it, still killing it in the gym, and I fit right in. I'm not gonna discredit myself and say that all of a sudden I went to the gym and started working hard, because that's not true. I've always been a hard worker. I've always, you know, busted my ass whenever it came to training. So I've always done that, 100%. But now just being in an atmosphere where other people are doing it too, it's pretty nice to see.
Does that inspire you to one day become a world champion yourself?
I mean, look, that's everyone's goal. You know, mo- about 95% of fighters, once they lace up the gloves, you know, they want to be a world champion. You know, it's just unfortunate that there's a lot of things that go on outside of boxing that, on the business side, that can affect a fighter pursuing that world championship or achieving that goal. You know, here I'm taking hard fights just to get my name out there, just to get some recognition, to put myself in position. I never necessarily had the backing to like get, you know, matched with certain opponents at step up fights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Chicago's just not like that. Like my opponent, he fought. I'm forgetting the guy's name, but for his first WBA interim title, he fought a fighter from here, and I was like, how is this an opponent for a title? You know what I'm saying? I was so confused. I was like, this is not an opponent worthy for a title shot. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's boxing politics. They'll feed you, build your record up, and get you a few belts. But I gotta earn it the hard way.
Yeah. And obviously, providing if you come through with a win on Saturday night, you've got a lot of great super featherweights out there, a lot of great champions as well out there. If you could pick a fighter you can potentially fight one day for it being a world title, who would it be?
Oh, I would love to fight Santa Cruz at 130. I think that'd be a fun fight. But you know, I think I could actually make 26. I think I could go down to 26 and fight there. But who knows? But I would love to stay um on the zone side of things. You know how boxing are. There's different islands, right?
Yeah.
So you got Golden Boy, friggin' PBC, and DAZN, Eddie Hearn match, whatever. I've always been a fan of Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. You know, from finding a way to watch Sky Sports on YouTube because I didn't have the channel. You know what I'm saying? I've just been a big fan of this side of things. So if I could stay on this side and I could pull off this victory Saturday, then shoot. I'm willing to fight anybody, dude. Basically, whoever Eddie would say to fight, I'm in there.
Yeah.
I have no fear.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic to hear. Obviously, what Eddie Hearn does do is obviously he does give people opportunities that if they put in a great performance, that he does call them back over sometimes to fight in the UK again. So
Yeah,
even if you do not get a win tomorrow on Saturday night, if you put in a fantastic performance, I'm sure no doubt that Eddie will look to bring you back over here, and I'm sure you'll leave the venue with a lot of fans after the fight.
yeah. You know, 100%, man. The only reason why I'm here in the first place is because my fight at the Win Trust in Chicago. Um, Eddie specifically said today, he's here because that I put on one of the best fights he's ever seen in over there in Wintrust, and just to hear that come from this man's mouth was like, you know, kudos to me and my opponent for putting on a show like that, and it was just a blessing. So this is not given to me. You know, people look at my record, you know, and they could say, oh, Joe Cordina is fighting a nobody, da da da. You know, that stuff. It is what it is, man. You know, they don't know my backstory. They don't know the amount of work or the fights I had to take to get to this point. But you know, I'm a man of faith, and I believe that God is working. And for some reason, I'm here in the UK and got to strap up my gloves and go to war on Saturday. And that's I feel at home in the ring. So let's get to it.
Yeah. And Joshua, before I let you go, have you got a message back for your fans back in Chicago? And a lot of fans are going to be watching on Saturday night from the UK and
Yeah.
the States.
Yeah, man, the love and the support that I've gotten, especially from my family and friends, strangers in Chicago, has been amazing. I appreciate everyone's love. I appreciate the support. They know I'm real. What you see is what you get. You know, I'm not a liar. I don't have to cover up anything. Um, I don't have, you know, a false personality that I have to portray. You're always going to get the real Josh Hernandez, and that's why they come on, they support me. I know a lot of people are going to tune into the zone, and I believe that I'm gonna get this win, man, and then I'm gonna pull off this upset. Um, and like I've been telling my family and my father over here, I already won. All I got to do is show up.
Brilliant. I can't wait for the fight. I'll be tuning in Saturday night for this fight. I'm looking forward to this one. Joshua, I want to thank you again for taking the time to speak to me today. And I wish you nothing but the best for Saturday night.
Hey, man, no problem. Anytime. God bless and take care.
You too. Take care now. Thank you.